everyone, this is Lincolnus Prime, and today we're taking a look at the Super Action Statues DIO Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1, Phantom Blood. And before we look at the figure, as always, we'll be taking a quick look at the box. So basically, on the front we get the Super Action Statues logo, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure logo as well right there. We do get DIO Brando in the gold lettering right there. Super Action Statues up top, the window where the figure was on the inside. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Super Action Statues, DIO Brando. Nothing on the bottom. On the side we do get a picture of the figure. On the other side we get the same picture of the figure, and then on the back we do get some promo shots of DIO, and as well as the accessories he comes with, the different faces and the stand, and yeah, that's about it for the box. And moving right along, here we have DIO Brando out of the box, and I have to say, this is a really good figure. Just kind of going in on some of the details. I'm going to take him off his base right here. A lot of the detail is very nice on this figure. Mainly just, you know, like especially all the wrinkles in the clothing, and like also the sculpting in the arms and the muscles and all that kind of stuff. Just looks really nice. There's also a very nice looking, like kind of a what's the word? Kind of like a dry brushing effect, mainly with, like, you know, especially here in the leg, like you can see like where the main color is, like with some of the lighter colors, and then they add the little darker shades right in here. But that looks really nice. He kind of has these more sneaker looking shoes though, but you know, just a lot of the detail, the paint and all that kind of stuff just looks really nice, especially this gold, like the buttons, like that goldish bronze color as well. There's no mist paint or anything like that. Nothing was you know, scratched or anything like that. Just all the paint is applied well, and it's pretty durable as well, which I would expect from a figure like this, because it's not cheap. So when it comes to durable paint on more, you know, expensive figures, that's something that I definitely appreciate. So but it's a really nice looking figure. Now the only thing is, I don't remember this particular outfit from Phantom Blood. The closest I could think of is the like, I'm just gonna use the anime for example, but like the one that he was wearing the last couple of episodes, when especially in episode 8, when Jonathan, you know, sliced him in half. That's the only thing I could think of that is the closest to this particular uniform. I just don't remember where this is from. It may be more manga accurate. I'm assuming it would be. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. But you know, it looks really good, honestly. But just bring him in for a comparison. Get him to stand. So there we go. Bring him in for a comparison. Here we have him next to Jonathan Joestar, and these are around the same exact size. Now, Super Action Statues figures, when it comes to the different JoJo parts, they have been getting a bit smaller for some reason when it comes to each part. So this is like part 1, like this is pretty much as big as they get, and then they kind of get a little bit smaller, which is weird because they should be, and I talk about this in the Jonathan review, but they should be like the same height. Now I could probably understand because proportionally they change over, you know, in terms of the art style and stuff like that. But parts 1 and 2, their art style doesn't really change, so I don't understand why Joseph, you know, because I have the Joseph figure that's going to be my next Super Action Statues review. I don't understand why he's a little bit smaller than Jonathan here. And then Jotaro, he also gets smaller than Joseph, but it's not a huge problem. But these two do look absolutely outstanding with each other. You know, just, you know, you got the main hero and then the main villain, but yeah, I think these two look great together. And I did pick these up together as well as a pair, so intending to do that. And I also did that one thing, I'll just put a picture of that, but I did the funny, so yeah. But in terms of just everything else, moving him to the side, but with DIO, yeah, this is a very nice looking figure. Now a lot of people were complaining about the color choice of like the purplish pink I don't think it looks that bad. I think it looks fine. If it was maybe a little bit darker, then okay. I mean, that may be the better solution, but I think it looks okay. Another thing people were kind of complaining about was how long his neck is. That one I will agree with on. His neck is very long, but when it comes to JoJo, there's really no surprise there. Also going in on the face, almost forgot to mention that, but holy crap, I love the detail in the eyes as well as just the sculpting in the face. It looks really, really nice, especially with the hair as well. But that is really impressive looking. But those eyes though, that looks really, really good. I like how they did the like the lines in the eyes, kind of like how you'd see in the manga and the anime. And I would expect to see that on JoJo figures. I feel like they could have at least added some more kind of paint in maybe like the mouth section, because it feels a little too blank. But I'm not really complaining there. In fact, I think actually bring in Jonathan. Jonathan actually, oh no, his lips were painted. Yeah. If they did something with that on Dio, I think that would have been better. But not the biggest issue. But everything else looks really, really nice on this figure. But in terms of detail, I mean, that's really about it. I mean, the sculpt looks great, the painting is great, and I think for what this is, it was definitely worth the get. So yes. And moving on to the accessories, we do get two head sculpts. We get the standard head sculpt, which comes in the packaging, and I already showed this one off, but then we also get this more vampire teeth showing off face. He has a little bit more expression in the eyebrows as well, but this head looks pretty good. Nothing really new, considering that this is pretty much around the same kind of head, just with, you know, the open mouth to that head. Then we also get this piece right here, and this right here is just a neck piece with the kind of like these the veins, and these were the veins, if you remember in part 1, that Dio used to basically puncture Jonathan's like his neck, like his air pipe, or I don't know. you know what I'm talking about. But the sculpting on this is actually really good. I mean, like the bottom part like that is gnarly. But there's also a peg right here, and it's actually for the base adapter right here, so it actually can go into there like that, but it doesn't really want to stick, so but you do get that. And this is the only problem with this actually is just how thin these pieces are. These might break over time, and I accidentally just bent that, so I want to be careful with this. But it does have a ball joint on top, so you could take one of the heads. I'm just going to use the vampire head, for example. You just pop it on there, but it is kind of difficult to get on just with all the veins and stuff in the way. But you can do it, but it's not something that I'm going to be doing anytime soon. But that is an option that you have. And then another accessory we get is, I'm tipping everything over. Another accessory you get is the rose that he has when he's sitting in his chair in in certain scenes. And then he also does come with a hand that is able to hold this. All you got to do is just kind of pop that in like so, and then try to squeeze it in between the fingers. If I can get to do that, because I was able to do it before. And there we go. And you just pop it in there like so, and you know, it works pretty well. I'm not gonna be displaying him with the rose, but you know, it's an option that you have. And then you also, going over the hands, you do get the two fisted hands. These are the standard hands that were already on the figure in the packaging. So you get those. You get two karate chop looking hands. So you get those. Those look pretty nice. And then you get two widespread open hands, like that. You also get these two kind of relaxed hands, and these are used for when you want to do the although I do wish he came with a thumb pointing hand so you could pull off the. And moving right along to the articulation. So basically, at the head we have a ball joint in the neck, and the ball joint doesn't really do much. I mean, it allows for a little bit of movement, but there's more range of movement at the base of the neck. But you do have a hinge joint in the neck area where the ball joint is attached, so you can look down about that far and up. Not too far, mainly because of the hair kind of blocking the neck, but he can look side to side and also move at the base of the neck side to side. At the arms, the shoulders can move up about that far and down about that far. They can move all the way around full 360. There is a bicep swivel, and there is like a kind of a swiveling joint in the elbow, as well as a double jointed elbow bend. And then we do have a wrist swivel right here, and then there is a joint that allows it to go side to side, but if you move it around, it can go up and down. So that is a pretty cool kind of thing right there. And then we do get a ball joint here and here, so he can crunch forward mainly that much, but he can kind of crunch back a little bit more to kind of do certain, more JoJo-like poses. And then can do side to side like so, and turn, kind of swivel like so. And then at the kind of this area, this right here is a little bit disappointing in terms of articulation, because all we get is just a ball joint, which I can't really pop that off, but you can see it's just a ball joint there, and there's not much really going on. It's all kind of just molded in one kind of section. There's not really anything you could do there, so it does make it to where you cannot spread the legs very far. But you don't really, you can't really get much out of that, but you can kick forward pretty far. I mean, if you kind of move this up a little bit, you can kick farther up a little bit more, and then you do get a swivel at the thigh. The knees are double jointed, and they go a little bit more far in than most JoJo figures do, so that's pretty cool. And back up like so. There is a swivel at the ankle, and it does have a similar kind of joint in the hands, but so you kind of get the idea, so you can kind of turn it around, kind of swivel a little bit. And there is some ankle rocker motion going on in there, and then you also get a toe bend. So when it comes to articulation, there is a lot to basically kind of pull off in terms of poses. Just wish that there's a little bit more spread with the legs, but overall articulation is very, very nice. And for comparison, here we have the Super Action Statues Dio next to another anime figure. Here we have him next to the Presto Tanjiro Kamado. Here we have him next to the Netflix Earthrise Optimus Prime. And for a Godzilla comparison, here we have him next to the 1989 Biogoji. And for my final comments on this figure, I would highly recommend him if you can find him. When it comes to Super Action statues, they're not so easy to come across, so I would probably recommend trying to find these online. And speaking of online, I will be linking the website of the place where I actually bought these figures from down below in the description. And I also linked the website in the description of my previous Jonathan video. So please check them out. Their prices are very, very good for these figures, and I would highly suggest picking them up there if you can. They're mostly good quality. I have not had a problem with any of these figures, but they don't just sell JoJo, they sell a bunch of other things, so please check them out. They highly, highly deserve it. But anyways, when it comes to this figure, it's good quality. The joints are all nice and tight. There's really no, joint problems or anything like that. Nothing's too loose, nothing's too tight. The only thing I could probably caution you guys against is pretty much the same, kind of problem I had with the Jonathan figure, is make sure that when you're interchanging the heads that you don't break the ball joint, because it's a very small ball joint, so be careful when interchanging certain parts. And I would also maybe suggest, if you needed to, just taking a hairdryer to maybe the ball joint, and same thing with the hands as well. Just take a hairdryer to the inside section where the joint goes, and then pop it on. Maybe wait for it to cool a bit so it doesn't end up breaking the ball joint over time, because you don't want that to happen. But when it comes to everything else, everything is sturdy, the paint is durable, just it works. It's a great figure. I would highly, highly recommend it. I know I'm saying that a lot, I'm sorry. But yeah, so in terms of everything else, that is about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.